So for years of going down to the March for Life in order to stand up for life, we see, thanks be to God, this overturning of Roe versus Wade completely within the grace of Almighty God. That is 50 years. 50 years, and celebrated on when? This decision overturned on the feast day of the birthday of John the Baptist, which had been moved actually before because it was also the Sacred Heart, and the Sacred Heart took precedence, so they did it before. And then the Immaculate Heart of Mary the next day. So it was in between John the Baptist's birthday, Sacred Heart, and the Immaculate Conception. It also ended up being the birthday of the woman who founded the march. So, we look and we say, well, that's all a nice coincidence, but no. No, God cares about this stuff. I was thinking about this morning. People sometimes say, why does it matter how long why would God care about how long it takes the earth to spin around or how long it takes the earth to get around the sun? It's like, isn't that just the amazing thing about God? That He cares about the details. That He made order in the universe for a reason. That the earth spins at a certain rate. The moon goes around the earth at a certain rate. It goes around the earth and the moon go around the sun at a certain rate. And it all has to do with His divine plan. His plan is important. It's detailed. And He created it with order. And we look and, for years as I would go down, every year I'd be saying to the group of pilgrims that I was with at the Mass, I'd be saying, we're not coming here next year. Why not? Well, because we're going to overturn Roe v. Wade this year. And didn't happen. Then COVID happened and I wasn't able to go the year that we did overturn Roe v. Wade. But we look and we say, this was my hope, but I didn't have much hope. Because I saw all of the truth, the scientific, the spiritual truth about the reality of the human life that starts in the first moment of fertilization. Unique. And all the science points to that, and everyone on the other side is driven without looking at that science. And I knew it was a spiritual battle. I knew it had to be overcome only by spiritual means. Because Satan has such a stronghold there. And what happened? We hear in the gospel today, how can Satan drive out Satan? If a house is divided against itself, it cannot stand. But no one can enter a strong man's house to plunder his property unless he first ties up the strong man. And Jesus is implying here, He is that strong man who's going to come and tie up Satan. And in His perfect timing, 50 years, He did. He is that great high priest who enters into the sanctuary not made by hands, and not with blood of others, the goats and the sheep, bringing before the Lord, but with His own blood, to overcome the power of Satan. And this is why we have this day of prayer and penance. Because it's good to march, it's good to go out and contact our senators and our Congress people, it's good to do all that. But when there's a hardness of heart, no matter what we do, we're not going to get through. Only God can soften that heart. So we need to pray and do penance in order to soften those hearts. I wasn't able to watch any of the March for Life rally on Friday because of the funeral and wedding and other things that were going on. Father Kelly did, and he was telling me how good it was, and then the Lemieux came back and they were telling me how good it was, and they said, you gotta watch it. So I watched part of it last night on YouTube. I watched Jonathan Rumi's talk, and what did he say? He said, pulled out his rosary and says, this St. Padre Pio says, is the weapon against the enemy. So we turn to Mary, who crushes the head of Satan. Asking her, soften our hearts. Help us to have that profound respect for the sacred dignity of every human life, from that first moment of fertilization through natural death.